Okay, so we got just a couple things I want to do with you guys today. And they involve actually fractions, believe it or not. We've done some basic fraction problems. So I want to address a question from earlier. You had a problem that was like this here, maybe? What do you got, Jeff? I don't know, buddy. Sure. Right? Okay. What do you do in this case?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Yes. Well, you remember why? Sure, you could do that. Now it's getting a little hot, is it? Or is it just me? Is it just me?
No, it's getting hot.
It's getting a little bit hot. I hear so. Cool it down. A little bit, too much body heat. So guys, stay with me. I've already said this before, but you've got to connect to something about why something makes sense instead of just, this is what he said, I'm going to do this shit. Because then that's no foundation to build other math stuff on, right? So, I mean, how do you solve this equation?
Divide by 7.
All right. So really, I'm not saying to do this, but I want to show you. How do you solve this equation? Same way. Divide by 4/5. Does that look good?
No.
And we know that division by 4/5 is the same thing as multiplication by 5, which is why the shortcut, instead of writing this, which is like fracception, right? Fraction inside of a fraction. That's getting a little dated, that reference. I multiply by the reciprocal, which really is the same thing as dividing by this, which is what I always do. If the only thing that's keeping my x from being by itself is something multiplying by it, of course I'm going to divide by it to kill it. But multiplying by the reciprocal is the same thing as dividing by the crazy ass thing. Do it on both sides. Dies here and over there. Get 9/20. Yeah. Is that all right? You got to start making connections about what are the fundamental ideas that never change. So a lot of math students have trouble with math because you think every single problem represents a new idea. And how does anyone do math when you have to memorize all these different, holy shit, I would never, are you kidding me? I mean, if I had to memorize everything I can do, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I'd have to overwrite everything. I'd be like on the floor, I forgot how to walk. I mean, I'd overwrite that shit. What's your name? I have no idea. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know I'm being goofy, but too many students believe everything math is memorization. There is some of that, of course, but you can't possibly memorize every damn thing. Thankfully, you don't have to. There are certain things that are just stay the same. And then there are shortcuts we make in certain situations. Okay, maybe? No? What's up? All right. You have to, so everybody has to be with me on this kind of problem, right? If you're not with me on this kind of problem, we have a big issue. You need to come see me if you don't know how to solve this.
How do you do that?
I saw it coming. I saw your face. How do you solve this?
Divide
Divide by. All right. Now, what I am trying to say is the idea doesn't actually change here. What you gonna do, Jeff? Oh, there's too many things I gotta come up with. Let's do it. That's all right. I'm a math teacher. I'm used to it. Just happy everybody's awake as far as I can tell. It's still the same idea. I just have a shortcut. If I would have put a 7 there, you would have divided. If I would have put a 5 there, you would have divided by 5, right? I mean, so I put a 7/8 there, you're going to divide by 7/8. But what's a better way to represent dividing by a fraction? Multiplying by the reciprocal. Idea is not different. It's just a better way to write it in the situation I have for frickin' fraction there. Frickin' fraction. So this is the same idea as this was. What's up?
Your next shortcut only works when on the other side is a whole number. So like you would times by 8 if it wasn't negative 21/16, if that was a whole number, then you'd be able to cross out the 8 and then divide by 7 by whatever that answer was. Does that make sense? But that only works with the whole
If
number.
that was here, if that was this,
Yeah, so then you
nothing
cross-
changes with what I just did.
Did you do a shortcut yesterday where like you cross out the 8s, but then you can divide by 7?
That is what I'm gonna do. But I think I see what you're saying. But right here, I just deal, nothing would change with what's written in red.
Correct.
If something different was on this side, this is the same, I'm gonna do this. Then I just deal with whatever this is. Now this isn't even a solve an equation problem. This is just a simplify fractions problem. Right? So 8 does go into 16.
1 and 2,
7 does go into 21.
1 and 3.
And then so I do get negative 3 over 2. Yeah. Right? Yes.
So what if there's no 8 under the 7 there? Would it just automatically put a 1 under it and do the same thing?
Yeah. See, now watch. All right. So my problem was this. Let's make it exactly the same except the 8's gone. Right? Now watch. This is beautiful. You ready? So this side tells me I'm going to divide by 7, correct? Don't I have a fraction on the other side? So I should think of it not divide by 7, but multiply by 1 over 7. See, the fraction notation matches that. Did I actually just change how I solve equations? No, I'm still dividing by 7. What's another way to say divided by 7? What the hell is that, John? Just multiply by 1/7. Right? So yeah, you're right. It would be over 1, so that's 1/7 reciprocal. That was 7 over 8. That's 8/7 reciprocal. Yeah. Now, if you have a problem where there's no fractions anywhere, then screw reciprocal. I don't need it, right? I don't need to write it like that because I can just apply it directly. I don't need another way to write division. Does that make sense? This is not stuff to memorize. This is just stuff to do in these situations. I get rid of that thing and then I deal with it, whatever it is, over here.
I think the answer for that one would be x equals
This one?
3 over 16.
Yeah, let's see. X equals 7 goes into 21, 3. Yeah, so it'll be negative 3 over 16. Kick ass.
Why you put 1? Why don't put just 7? And you cancel it and you put
Where I put what now?
Why you put 1?
Why did I put this?
Yeah, 1.
Okay, if you just put 7, what is 7 times 7?
You do it times or you do it like?
Oh, so you mean this, right?
Yes.
Which is the same thing as this.
It's not the same?
They are the same. Of course they are. Right? Isn't that the same?
Mhm.
Where's the 7 here? On the bottom. Where's the 7 here? On the bottom. So it's the same thing. Dividing by 7 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/7. We know this, right? I can't read you guys. I know some of you guys don't lie to me either. Don't look at me and go, I get you. I don't have a clue what the hell you're saying. Hi, I'm with you. No. I really want you guys to see we have situations where dividing by what's in front of the x can be easier accomplished by multiplying by the reciprocal. When I have fractions in my equation somewhere. If I have no fractions anywhere, that's not going to help me, so why would I write it that way? Okay. Anything else from the quiz or from homework?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I think, number 3 in the quiz. 'Cause I
The
was
order
just-
operations problem?
Yeah, it was the power over. It was 3 minus 6 to the.
Yeah, I'm not going to do yours, but let's see. Here's another one. That's yummy. That's so creepy, I don't care apparently. All right.
5 divided by 7.
What's the very first thing you do? Actually, let me say this. What's the very last things I will do?
Subtract.
Yeah, this 5 minus, and this minus 7. It's 5 minus, I don't know yet, minus 7. All right, I'm going to leave those outside things alone until I figure out what the hell that middle chunk is. What do I do the first thing in the middle? Well, not the exponents.
It's -3 and then -4.
Yeah, what am I squaring? I don't know. So don't say no 16 minus 49. That's bullshit. Right? You can't do that. Later we'll talk about if you wanted to try to do that, you actually have to FOIL. Does that word remember me? You guys remember? Okay.
Yeah.
But why would you do that? What's order of operations say? Do the inside. Then I know what I'm squaring. 4 minus 7 is? 4 minus 7 is? -3. -3 squared is?
6. Yeah.
9.
9. You notice I haven't made this 15. Of course I haven't made that 15. That's not 15. That 3 is on the bottom and the 5 is on the top. How the hell can they make 15? Right? But your brain says, oh, I know that piece is 15. But you got to stop. Yes. Right? I mean, yes? I'm pretty sure we talked about that you can rewrite this with the 3 on the bottom. And that's why I can't go with the 5, because it's on the bottom. So you do this as it comes. What's 9 divided by 3? 3. What's 3 times 5?
15.
And now you can finally do this. 5 minus 15.
-20.
You're up 5, go down 15. If I'm up 5 and go down 5, it's 0, and then I have to go down 10 more. So -10. Minus 7 is -17. Yeah, cool. So everybody had a problem like that, but nobody had that problem. The more you understand what I just said. Everybody had this problem, but nobody had this problem. Huh?
I had a problem with that.
But you had.
No, I understand now, though.
Okay. That's what's important. And remember, each quiz ends up being worth about 3% of your overall grade. So no quiz by itself can hurt you at all. And you can make corrections. I mean, it's incredible. But the quizzes are really just, here's what you should know now. If you don't, you better get on it because the test is coming. Right? And the test is what counts the most. Yep. All right. I guess I'm reached my water level. All right. All right. Anything else? Well, I'm still on. Yes.
Oh, we get 9.
Say again.
3 times 2.
I'm sorry.
9, 3.
What happened?
3.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
What's the question?
How we get 9?
So what's square mean?
Yes.
What's squared mean?
Because now you got 9, right?
Yes, but what does squared mean?
2 times.
Do what 2 times?
3.
Do what though? Multiply.
Multiply.
So what's -3 times -3?
Yes.
9. Cool.
I got
I like
it. I got it.
Kick ass.
I got it.
Sweet. Yes,
2
yes.
times 3. Yeah,
So
that's
order operations will save your ass.
2 times
If you did say like 16 minus 49, that is so wrong. Maybe?
3.
Because it doesn't follow order operations. So you know right there, it's probably going to be wrong. Okay. All right. Anything else before we get back into slightly different stuff?
You have the
Yes.
numbers like
Oh, yeah. Okay.
parentheses, but not parentheses, different.
Yes. So if I take some parentheses and I hammer them out,
Yes.
what do those represent?
Absolute.
Absolute value. What do they do? Do they do something?
Yeah, it's how.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes they do something. What's the answer to this?
3.
Well, what's the answer to this?
4.
Here they did something, here they did nothing, right? They're very single-minded. They're like, make it positive, unless it's already positive.
So when you have 2 positives, you
That just
subtract
tells-
from each other. It's still the same thing, basically. You don't.
What's happening? So now watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the problem you had was something like this.
Yeah, but you
Yes.
don't do anything. You just subtract it and then you get it.
Because what do you take the absolute value of? You don't know yet. So if you said this was 7 plus 15, hell no.
No.
Never said that. If I take the absolute value of a number, I know what to do. Do I have a number in here yet?
No.
No. I have to do the inside. What's the first thing in order of operations? Do inside.
Okay.
That doesn't change. So what's 7 minus 15?
-8.
Now what's the absolute value of -8?
8.
Yeah.
That's just telling you how many times you.
How far away from 0 you are.
Yep.
Right? So if you're 8 feet away from me, you're not -8 if I do this,
I'm
because
just
that's
8 feet
weird.
away.
Because then you're like inside. Go, Kurt. Quaid. All right. There we go. Total recall.
Yeah.
Original. Watch. All right. Anything else before we? All right, let's do this. Here we go. Let's start off semi-nice. All right. This is a equation with a ton of fractions, but they are not scary at all because they already are all the same. Every piece of this equation is being divided by 4, is that right? So what can I do to both sides to immediately kill all my fractions? Multiply by 4. If everything's being divided by 4, if I multiply everything by 4, those are going to cancel out. So if you multiply everything by 4, they cancel, cancel, cancel. What are you left with?
X1.
Plus 1
Yeah, plus 1.
equals 3, and then you got a nice little yay, right? All right. Will the denominators always start off the same?
No.
No. But now we know what to do. If I can make all the denominators the same, I can multiply by that, and it dies, just like this one did. So if you understand this, you understand all equations and fractions. Yes?
I just need help with dividing fractions.
The
Dividing fractions.
wait. The thing we were doing earlier?
Were we doing that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I wrote everything down that you wrote for my notes.
Yeah.
So when you divide, you're supposed to do the reciprocal.
Yeah. When you divide fractions, you multiply with a reciprocal.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Okay. So let's try a more interesting problem. Let's see. 5x over 12 minus 7 over 6 equals x over 3. Okay. By the way, I have no idea what the answer is going to be. Just made some shit up on the way. Didn't even think about it. Are all the bottoms the same?
No.
Can you make all the bottoms the same?
Yes.
What's the LCD going to be?
You want 6
12.
to-
Yeah.
So how do you make this 12?
2.
2. How do you make this 12?
4.
4. So now I got 5x over 12 minus 14 over 12 equals,
4x.
right? And now what can you do?
Multiply.
Yeah, multiply by 12. In that one, here's a beautiful phrase, in that one fell swoop, you can kill all your fractions, right? And they won't come back. They won't be White Walkers or anything. So if you multiply each thing, and the reason that multiplying each thing is allowed is because I would multiply both sides by 12, right? Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side, but then wouldn't this 12 distribute? Yes? Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other side. But then the 12 would distribute, so I just always write what I'm multiplying by each piece. And then what happens? I love the people that just feel bad for this 12 and somehow it stays alive and makes it 48. No, it's dead, it died. Right? You guys doing it? I can't read you guys at all, man. At all. So then what are you left with here? 5x minus 14 equals 4x. Man, I made this come out nice. Yes, what can you do? Subtract 5x. Sure. Get your x's together. And what's the last step here?
Divide negative x by
Nope.
No, you take,
The only reason x is not by itself is because they understood negative
there's a
1 in front of it, so I divide both sides by
-1.
negative 1 to kill the thing that's making the x not by itself.
It'd be positive 4.
So we get x equals positive 14,
Yeah.
because the negatives cancel. Yes?
So right there on the last step is because you wanna get x by itself, and you know automatically there's that invisible one there, cause it's negative, right?
Yes, yes. Anytime it helps, you could bring that 1 and show it to yourself, right? Okay.
X never wants to be negative, so you have to.
Well, I gotta solve for x, I can't solve for negative x. And think about it this way, what did we just say right there? Negative 14 equals negative x. Well, if negative x is negative 14, what's x?
14.
Freaking 14, yeah, okay, so it's, algebra's always gotta match up with, if we're able to just look at an equation and say to ourselves, well, it just makes sense. Algebra should match up with that. Has to. It's just we can't always look at an equation and go, and Rain Man it right there and say, 14, definitely 14. Man, all my references are like way old, and I don't care. All right. How many matches? 247. Okay. Oh, what about this one? There's a slight difference with this one. I probably should be numbering these, but I'm going to call this A. What you got, John? I got this. I got x over 8 minus 3 equals 2 over 2x over. You could do it, buddy. I don't know, man. I should have done that. Make it 3x over 4. Sure, I like it. I get there eventually. There's a slight difference here that people will miss. Are all the bottoms the same?
No.
How many bottoms are there?
3.
No, there are 3.
3. Yeah.
So if there's a whole number, it still needs to have the same denominator for this kind of thing to work. I make everything have the same denominator, and then I can just kill them all in one fell swoop. So right now the 3 is over
1.
Ah, okay. So what's the LCD?
8.
8. So he needs a whole 8. He needs a 2. So get x over 8 minus 24 over 8 equals 6
6.
x over
8.
8. And now I can multiply by 8. Like it. Should probably show everybody. Are you homesick? Sorry. Multiply by 8. And again, the biggest mistake is somehow that thing you just did stays there, but it should immediately die. That's what his purpose is. What is my purpose? You pass the butter and then you die. So what do you get here?
X minus 24 equals 6x.
Yeah, and now that's a nice equation. We started off with disgusting fractions, and then we killed them. And then how do you solve that? You just have to subtract x, because it's the one that's in the wrong place. And then divide by 5, and I got it. Bam. You guys, how are you doing? I can't.
It's crazy because every time I get a problem like that and I end up with that type of answer, I always think it's wrong. So then
You
I-
got to get over that, because depending on how long math was or what level of math you took, sometimes if you had a certain level of math, all the answers are whole numbers or something. Well, we're leaving that behind, because real life ain't that pretty, right? Real life, the answer could be square root of 7 or something. We're not quite there yet, but that is a valid answer in real life. Okay, so get out of here. What about? Sorry. I had a lot of people today. I had one guy try to come in half an hour early. I was like, what kind of freaking cool ass class is after me? And people want in there. All right. By the way, tomorrow we're going to have a little worksheet going over everything we're doing today. right? So you got time to do the homework, you can come ready a little more prepared for that. What about if there's decimals? Dead animals? What? Oh, the animals? Oh my gosh. All right. What about if there's decimals in there? Ah, shit. Well, decimals are fractions. You guys with me on that? No? What is 0.02 as a fraction? 2 over 100, right? Ones, tenths, hundredths. So that's 2 over 100. Decimals are fractions that fit into our base 10 number system. That is all they are. So they have a shortcut way to write them. We don't have to make them look like decimals. They fit into our base 10 system. So how do I solve equations with the same freaking way we solve them with fractions in it, right? So, real quick, a couple more. What's this? 7 over 10 thousandths. I love it. Here's a shortcut. You ready? How many decimal places? So how many zeros? Hey, see 2 decimal places, 2 zeros. It's crazy how easy it is because it matches with our base 10. It's got to be easy then if it fits into our base 10 system. It has to be easier. All right. You guys don't believe me. I understand. So how do I solve this ugliness here? I'm sorry, problem. This one's not too bad.
Take 1.7x.
If you wanted to, you could kill the decimals. You don't have to. Same thing actually with the fractions. You could solve everything we just did earlier without killing the fractions. Of course you can, right? So, but if you wanted to kill the decimals, how would you do it? What are each of these over? Tenths. How many spots are there? 1. So I can multiply everything by 10. And of course, why does that make sense? Multiplication by 10 makes the decimal move over once. Since they all are 1 decimal movement away from being whole, I can multiply by 10. Make them all whole numbers. So if I multiply by 10, this becomes 17x minus 23 equals 49x. Some of you guys might realize I didn't really change it much at all, barely. But as a human, it is nicer to see stuff without decimals in it. It just is. So if you want to, you can. So what do you get? You gotta subtract 17x again. Negative 23 equals, yeah, they're negative 32x. Divide by 32. Is that all right? I mean, once they're all whole numbers, it should be relatively simple. Some of you guys are looking at me like you want to hurt me, and I'm a little concerned. I am just the messenger. I'm just the guy trying to help you get through. If you're having a lot of issues, if you had trouble with what I just did here, that is a bad sign. This is something we need to know, or else we're not going to be able to handle this other stuff at all. Okay. One last one, and then I'll let us out early. Let's see.
He actually does this a lot.
Be quiet. So look at this thing. How do I make everything become a whole number? What would I have to multiply by? Why 100? Because
Yeah.
the one that's the worst off needs to move twice, right?
So automatically they all get the 100.
Yeah. If I multiply by 10, I help him out. If I multiply by nothing, he's fine.
But then I would still correct.
But he would still be looking gross, right?
Decimal, yeah.
So I can, if I want to, I can multiply everything by 100. Now you can't multiply him by 100 and him by 1 and him by 10. For some reason I see people suddenly believe this. No, you can't choose like that. Whatever you do, you have to do the same thing to keep the balance. Too damn bad, right? So this becomes 8x. This becomes 300. And this becomes 90x. Yeah. You all right? And then
Subtract the 8.
subtract 8x. I get negative 300 equals 82x, and then I divide by 82, and I get x equals, and this is where you could leave the answers as decimal, especially because the problem starts with decimals. So whatever the hell that is. Uh-huh.
It's a calculator time.
Calculator time, yeah, I agree. 41. So look at how I'm still trying to do it. 3 point, I'm not gonna even try it. Yeah, so you can throw it in the old calculator, that's fine. You guys semi with me? So if I don't say what form to leave the answer in, the next thing you look at is how did they give it to me? That's the way my answer should be left then. Decimals, so I better leave it as fractions, I better leave the answers as fractions. Yes?
So if it was like, so no matter what, so if it was a decimal, but no matter what, like if that was like 0.000, you just do whatever place it was.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
So it was once, twice, that's why I need something with 2 zeros, 100, to make it become a whole number, and then everybody's got to get that, or else I've made my equation out of whack. Yes?
So if you didn't do what you did there, and then the answer was negative 2.3 equals 3.2, like if you didn't make it,
Oh, yeah. Then it would still come out the same, so watch this is kind of funny. Everybody's got this, right? So let's pretend like I didn't do this, so it's that still. So that's this, so that's this, so that's this, so that's this. Now, let me ask you a question. Why is that not a valid fraction? And it really should be a decimal, but do you guys see why that's not a valid fraction? Does anyone know what the definition of a fraction is?
Proportion of a whole number.
Yes,
Yeah.
a ratio of whole numbers. Are these whole numbers? No. But I do the same thing to the top and bottom, so I just move both over once, and I get the exact same answer we just got a minute ago. So one way to solve the equation is move them over once to begin with, and the other way is to move them over once at the end. Math doesn't care when you do it. Okay, that was a lot, it looks like. So, yes.
So you know how you said over there, it was, you got it as a decimal, you could leave the answer as a decimal?
Sure. Same thing here. Yeah, you could make this into a decimal, put it in your calculator.
And you could just leave it as a fraction as well, unless you ask for it.
Unless I ask for it, but in general, you give the answer in the same form the question was given, in general. But if I don't ask for it specifically, I'm not going to take points off. I love you guys. So again, tomorrow we will have a worksheet that covers this kind of idea, and then we'll keep going. By the way, word problems are very soon. I know you guys have been like, when are the word problems, Jeff? I want to get some word problems. So they're coming very soon. Thank you. Okay. Say again?